Spar. I told God I have a hard time with patience, my board is full. It's a lot of moves that I done postponed cause of your book. They forgot about the queen, she has skills to capture rooks. So any peace protecting castles, a straight move they getting took. It ain't no allies. You can get your bishop, pope, pastor, or rabbi, but none of those prayers protect your flesh from your past life. Cause a night gets it jumping, they'll shape plans, create they flat minds. Same meals they gotta take if I choose to go and get mine. I start the clock a piece with 7, got 2 more shots. A pawn up in this game is just a pawn for the plot. Some kings they gotta go, so think about your spot. Be cautious how you play cause the queen is watching your thoughts. Sadly we're here today cause these things they escalate. A woman scorn is something that they underestimate. Don't involve your ego, we target to check they mates. That means I'll sacrifice all they pieces to make it safe. I need a new team, mine is playing both sides. Bad diagonal moves, why do demons wanna hide? In bishop type movements, we cut they corners, let them die. It's 64 squares and you can't check her up, no lies. Now start the clock a piece with 7, got 2 more shots. A pawn up in this game is just a pawn for the plot. Some kings they gotta go, so think about your spot. Be cautious how you play cause the queen is watching your thoughts.
It's showtime. It is showtime. Take out, twin.
If I'm telling a story, it's cause they tell statements. Only difference in my stories, they ain't used for no arraignments. Yo, on live is still snitching, YouTube snitch arena. Sector full of internet haters with bullshit misdemeanors. They throwing stones to the screen, fragile all in person. Doxing address is funny, now dox where they hearses. I guess we gangster cause of Wi-Fi connection. That's some caps lock anger, fuck that typing or addressing. Broke is mad cause they pockets rely on they wife. And they deposit all them threats, scared to withdraw they life. Of course they safe up in their house cause they choosing and picking. Maybe screenshot it for the memories of how you was living. Jam guns and broken niggas with broken beams. Never been a shooter, just a jump man with a broken dream. Glocks don't care if you a thug or a blogger. If you leave that home base, they gon' tag you like a Dodger. If I'm approached with that 40 local lock on the scope, slinging out it isn't cool, but it'll heat up your soul. Media, insurance, policies, podcast lies. If it's Austin, get it poppin', should've took down them lives. Let the cops do their job so they don't bother me. You call him brother, but he still got some whole tendencies. I really am who I am, not pretend to be. I be outside, so how the fuck you ain't ran into me? And if you smack me, then we gotta go to war to the death. Go all in and put the chips in the middle to bet. Take your odds with the dirt, cause I'm not what you expect. Check the scoreboard, my belt tight from hoes that I stepped. Belt to ass, that's how we gotta settle disputes. Leave them matching metal jackets that I loaded in suits. So when it's speaking to no lies, clips spitting the truth. Taggers boo on the news, now they crying for proof. Compact frame, power forward large. Hollow tip as the point playing guard. Compact frame, power forward large. Hollow tip as the point playing guard.
What's happening, YouTube? It's the Late Show. Ellenwood Studios TV. The face of the Austin sector is speaking. This is Seditious 6. The belts are out tonight once again. Yeah, we got a big show planned for you tonight, man. I wanted to make sure I put the Seditious 6 on the board tonight, but I got this other story I need to cover right quick, man. I got some news today out of Cali, man, about J Diggs. And we got some information on this court case and when the next court appearance supposed to be and what's going on with him. So we're going to add that to the board along with all the other things we got going on tonight. Y'all get locked in, man. Y'all get locked in. It's going to be a bumpy ride. It's going to be a bumpy ride. Trust me when I tell you that, man. So, Wack 100 been beefing with J Diggs, and today I got some information on what was going on with this court case and everything. And as I get on the net, Then I see that his mom had actually did she called into this one show and spoke. What's up, Jay Dooley? Jay Dooley in the house. Who? Jay Dooley. My partner in bed. She spoke on what was going on in the case. She called into this show. Shouts out to SBGB TV, man. He be doing his thing over there, man. Shouts out to SGB TV. So yeah, JD's mom name is Miss Betty. You know, he used to be with Romper Room back in the day. The Tlls movement with Mac Dre now. And you know, he had went away for a little time, you know, fumbling around with some bank robberies they was doing and stuff. And it's a wild story, man. If you know anything about the Romper Room, man. Yeah, them boys was out here doing they thizzle, man. JD's, but you know what I'm saying, he one of the, you know what I'm saying, one of the top guys out his session over there, and he come home and then him and Whack 100 getting into some internet, you know, melee or whatever. JD dropped a couple tracks on him, and they were some good songs, man. Where he dropped the one song for sure, Four Finger Whack. And you know, it done went up through there, man. Millions of views on, you know, social media, different platforms, different pages and stuff. Yeah, I did a little checking on it today, man. That song, you know, it went up through there, man. So I got so I was, you know, I was trying to check and see what happened to the little case he had caught. You know what I'm saying? He had caught a case back in Oklahoma and stuff. And apparently he was on his way to a video. Give me 1 second, y'all. Give me 1 second. Just give me 1 second. Let me do something right quick. Just give me 1 second. Just one hot second. Just one hot second is all I need. So yeah, so J Diggs had got a caught a little case out in Oklahoma, and he was on his way to a video shoot, him and this female passenger he was with. And apparently the police, you know what I'm saying, got behind him or whatever. And as he was coming up, did say he switched lanes, you know, to let the police go past. And the police say the reason he was behind him was because of the lane switch. I did. Okay. Salute, big boy. Salute, big boy. Yeah, so apparently these done switched lanes, and police done got behind him, and he done made an abrupt move or whatever, and you know, that was enough for the police to go ahead and, you know, try to say that that's why they was pulling them over. After pulling them over, they find out that he got, you know what I'm saying, about 4 pounds of weed in the car. He got a little bit of got a little money on him too, you know what I'm saying. So when everything go to court, because now they was offering him probation on the play, because the female passenger took responsibility for everything, said it was all hers. And Diggs was like, man, he wasn't trying to do that. You know what I'm saying? He was not trying to take no probation on this play. He was cool on it. So, you know, he ended up, you know, fighting the case or whatever. Took them folk to trial. You know, like I say, he from Cali, from the Bay Area, and he was out in Oklahoma at a video shoot. He ended up getting taking them folks to trial, and the old girl, you know what I'm saying, she testified on his behalf and saying that, you know what I'm saying, this stuff was hers or whatever. And at the time when, you know what I'm saying, when he went to trial, they didn't have the ability. They didn't have the ability to test the narcotics and stuff. But you know what I'm saying? Fast forward, it's 5-6 years later. So now they got the ability to do all that. And so when they test everything or whatever, come back to no THC really. And everything that was, you know what I'm saying, pretty much that it came back to was all legalized in Oklahoma. So he in this trial, he facing possession with the intent to distribute. He facing about 4 or 5 different charges, all on for the life though. Then he got a charge of having drug money on his person or whatever. He had about 2,000 cash on him, and she had about 12 grand on her. So she took responsibility for her money and the weed. So all he really had on him was the 2 grand. You know, he public figure, celebrity, you know what I'm saying, rapper. You know what I mean? What's up, Chocolate Tie in the building, female lady shooter in the building. What's up, Chocolate Tie? So yeah, he ended up getting caught with that, and they tried to say that, you know, he was doing the most, but you know, he wasn't tripping about it. He took responsibility for what he had. She took responsibility for what she had. Like I said, they was offering him probation. He didn't want to take it, so he takes them folks to trial. So when they picked out the jury, it was one black lady in the jury pool, and you know what I'm saying, the prosecution and defense, they get like 3 to 5. I don't want you for no reason at all. And then, you know, the rest of their charges, you know what I'm saying, they ask questions or whatever and determine who they, you know, select and who they don't select. But they get like 3 to 5 of them, you know, just for no reason at all. They can just say, nah, not you. You know, anyway, so they get this one guy up there. He said that he was a white guy, he was a Christian, and he was saying that he don't see himself convicting nobody of possession of marijuana. You know what I'm saying? Especially not in Oklahoma after he's seen people in Oklahoma get charged with bodies and only do a year or 2. So he wasn't trying to send nobody up through the, you know what I'm saying, on no marijuana charge. So they knocked him off the jury. So anyway, they go ahead and get their jury seated. It was an all-white jury. And Diggs ended up losing the case. So he lose the case, and he waiting to be sentenced now. The jury came back with guilty on all the charges, but they jury instruction to the judge was just give him a fine. And so the judge is taking the case to, but the judge said he couldn't just give him a fine, that, you know, he took these folks to court. So he wanna, they're gonna have to pose the minimum sentence on it. So the minimum sentence was 4 years on all the charges, except for the one charge, which was the possession of the drug money, which was a 6-year charge. So that's what he's looking at now, man. He'd be sentenced to, the judge make his sentencing to go back to court on the 16th, I believe. It's either December the 14th or December the 16th. So that was J. Diggs out of California, man. Romper Room, Tlls Nation. You know what I'm saying? Mac Dre partner. And White 100 been on the internet slandering the man's name and stuff. You know what I mean? Because when it first popped out, you know, when Wack first popped out with it, Wack was telling everybody that he was caught up in a conspiracy case facing 40 years and all that. But as we go through the paperwork, that's nowhere on the paperwork. None of that stuff is on the paperwork. It was those charges that I told you, you know what I'm saying? Possession with the intent, the possession of the money, and a couple of more charges. And like I say, 3 or 4 was for the life, and the other one was 6 years. And the judge had said that, you know, he went back to the jury with the instruction to tell them folks that you have to look at his background. But when you look at his background, yeah, he was active. You know, he had served his time and all, so he hadn't been in no trouble. So, you know what I'm saying? He got sentenced. You know, he got stuff on his background from 30 years ago. And, you know what I'm saying? And over the last 12 years, you know, he hadn't got nothing going on. So, you know, maybe that was going to work in his favor with the judge. You know what I'm saying? It's Mom Dukes, she was saying that it's just crazy how they was trying to play him like this. You know what I mean? Like, he didn't want to take the probation. And I think they playing hardball just because of that. And, you know, he took them folks to trial and lost. So, you know what I mean? We want to send our good wishes out there to the family, to Diggs, and to you know, really to the judge, man. Have a heart, man. Have a heart, man. Man got caught with some weed this whole 5 years ago. It's, you know, cut him some slack, man. Cut him some slack, man. So we're gonna stay updated on that story, man. We got about a month. Well, no, not even a month. We got a couple weeks before, you know what I'm saying, he back in court. So we'll see what the disposition of the case will be. He was already found guilty. And see what the judge do, man. See what the judge do. Like I said, the case was over 5 years old. He not even from Oklahoma. He was just there, you know, working. He was actually headed to a video shoot at the time. And you know, just an unfortunate situation, man. Just an unfortunate situation what he got himself caught up in. And you know, having somebody like Wack 100 on the internet playing with his name and playing with him the way he is, you know, just a crazy situation altogether. Hopefully, you know what I'm saying, Diggs don't crash out with Wack. You know what I mean? He was trying to line up a, you know what I'm saying, a little fade with him, like, you know, here talking greasy, you know what I'm saying? You know, I be in LA too, so, you know, let's line that on up. And he never could get that situated. There been different reports out there about, you know, him trying to catch Wack in traffic. He, you know, pulled up to a couple spots where he's supposed to be in there. He actually pulled up no jumper a couple times, or at least one time. So, you know what I'm saying? He was definitely actively trying to see what Wack was talking about. But yeah, Mom Dukes came on the airways and kind of, you know, broke some of this stuff down because, you know, the story was going around all crazy. They had basically was trying to say that the young lady had got him in the situation, but, you know, she didn't, you know what I'm saying, based on our research and what we came up with, plus Mom's talking, you know, coming out on the airway speaking about as much as about the case as she could, it don't appear that the lady did nothing wrong. She was just, you know, a victim of circumstances, and she actually tried to free the guys. So, you know what I'm saying, shouts out to her for, you know what I'm saying, taking responsibility and trying to own up to it. Oklahoma wasn't going for it. Now, in hindsight, it's 2020, which means that, you know what I'm saying, you got all the information on the board right now today. But then when you look back and do a retrospect, it looked like he should have just went on and took the probation. You know. But I understand he didn't want to take no probation for stuff that wasn't his. And you know what I'm saying? Being in a situation like that is not his. The passenger saying it's theirs. Shit, I'm gonna beat this. You know, that's what he was thinking, but apparently these folks had other plans. Now, I don't know if y'all remember the case out of Florida with Deontay. They call him Moochie. And I think D Lord had popped up on the screen one day. Nephew popped up one day and was telling us about it. And we did a little research into it about the lady from Halliburton, the oil company. Man, I was watching a documentary on that today, and Moochie done did the fool, huh? Moochie done did the fool. So some kind of way, apparently, or whatever, he done got himself in possession of a handcuff key. So on his way to court, he had, you know, one of the guys, you know, undo the because you know they got on shackles when they go into court and stuff. So he got on the shackles and stuff, and if you don't know, the shackles is you got cuffs on your legs, you got them on your hands, and they come around your waist, and then it's a chain going from to your handcuffs on your wrist to your legs, or you might just have some shackles. You might just have some handcuffs on your legs, and then the chain coming up to a chain going around your stomach. And then you might have another chain on your wrist. So you got handcuffs on your wrist, and they shackled to a chain to your stomach. And then you got handcuffs on your ankles, and they shackled to a chain on your stomach. You know what I'm saying? It varies how they look, but that's pretty much the gist of it. You got shackles on your legs, handcuffs on your legs, handcuffs on your arms, and they either tied together through a chain or two separate chains tied to your something going around your waist. Anyway, he on his way to court, so he's in the courtroom, and what they call it is the bullpen, where they about to take you inside the courtroom. You about to sit, you know what I'm saying, in the box over there and wait till, you know what I'm saying, you being called for whatever you got going on. And before they went in, what's up, no monkey? Before they went in, he had his, you know what I'm saying, somebody undo them shackles around his waist. So when he get up in that courtroom, you know, somebody with the coffin, and he get up through there. He get up through there and jump up out the courtroom, run down, you know what I'm saying, down the steps and out the back door, car out there waiting on the shroom. He in the wind. You know what I'm saying? So brother escaped from the courthouse, and they go back, you know, because they doing their investigation. They go back, and they find his jail calls where he was on the call with, you know, with some people. And that's how they was able to, you know, figure out who helped him. And, you know, they got the cameras out there, so they watching the whole play. It took a couple days and locked the courthouse down, took everybody out the courthouse. They searched the courthouse from top to bottom. And then, you know, somebody got on them cameras and stuff and seen him popping out one of them doors on the side, so they knew where he went to. And then, you know, it's a matter of just tracking them cameras from there. And track them cameras all the way to an apartment building and complex. And then he get out, change his clothes, Then another car come pick him up, and he in the wind. You know what I'm saying? He ended up going by his uncle's house. His uncle ended up getting him a couple dollars, putting some money on it. And then he go, try to crash out at some hotels, trying to basically get up out of there. He in Florida. He trying to get up out of there. But they got a serious manhunt on for him. They end up, he got some twin cousins. They the one helping with the play. You know what I'm saying? A couple days before the play, I guess his cousin go to the courthouse and, and walk the route for him. So they got him on camera going out the courthouse, going out the courtroom. You know what I'm saying? Make his left or his right, whichever way he going, and going down through the side door. Boom, down the steps and out the emergency exit. Boom, out of there. So the cousin did it one day, the dry run day or two before. So the day of, Moochie do it. Dude get in that courtroom, hit him with the he get up through the he get up through there. He got the surveillance camera showing bro running down the steps and everything. He get out of there, huh? And the car was out there waiting on him, so he got up through there. So now they got the manhunt on, but from the camera surveying, they figure out that that's his girl car, the BMW, that's her. And then the other car and the phone call, so they must be them cousins, they twins. So they end up pressing them too. They end up locking up all three of them off the rip. What's up, Brooklyn? Brooklyn in the building. What's up, my G? So yeah, they end up locking up both of them, the cousins and the girl. And the way he had made the move, they helped him get out, but they didn't know where he was at, where he was going. You know what I'm saying? A couple of people had started getting knocked out here and there. And one guy told him that he was on the way to the hotel to meet him. So they went and hit the hotel, but he was already gone from there. And apparently, so they had Brooklyn say he had to get on somebody's head. That's right, Brooklyn. No prisoners. No prisoner. That's right. We ain't taking no prisoner, bro. So yeah, he had these the original reward was 10,000, and then apparently somebody dropped the bag on it. So it went up another 10. So the reward at 20 grand. And they calling in. They calling in, but at first it was like people was calling in with the flim flam. So you know what I'm saying? They got the police running here, there, and everywhere. So they don't know what's going on. So they upped the reward to 20 grand. I forgot the guy's name, but he dropped the song. Call it Run, Moochie Run. So you know what I'm saying? He dropped the Run Moochie Run song. The whole community had got behind, bro, because the case, I don't know if y'all remember, we was talking about the case before, and apparently, you know what I'm saying, Moochie was I don't want to say he was a jack boy, because, you know what I'm saying, I ain't going to say he was a jack boy, but he used to be, he used to jump in and out of houses. That's what he used to do. Cat burglar type thing. He wasn't doing no home invasion play. He really doing like the cat burglar. He kick door and, climbing your window type thing. That's how they were getting their money. He was moving around like that. He wasn't really out here, harming nobody. He was young, you know what I'm saying? He was 18, 19 years old. You know what I'm saying? So he wasn't out here sliding and then. So this particular day, this lady ended up, you know what I'm saying? Miss Halliburton ended up getting, you know what I'm saying, stabbed. And, his DNA was on, you know what I'm saying, on the weapon, I guess, on the knife or something. So his case is still going. Moochie case is still going, man. Still ongoing, man. I'm trying to find out some information on it. But yeah, D-Lloyd had brought that to the table, and we didn't get a chance to. I didn't get a chance to talk to D-Lloyd since then, because when D-Lloyd brought that to the table, I didn't know the way we was told the story, and I didn't look it up myself at the time because I was in traffic, but I was on the link though, and somebody was looking it up and giving us the information on it, but either they didn't say or I didn't hear them saying that this was an older case because it happened in like 17. You know what I'm saying? 16, 17, somewhere around there. And yeah, Moochie, the documentary that I saw, you know, he hadn't even they were saying that the Broward County Sheriff Department or whatever, they weren't doing right because he had they got cameras everywhere. So they got him filmed from the time he leave the jail to the time he get to court. So while they cuffing him up and stuff, and, searching him, they don't find the handcuff key. And then Moochie done, slit his pants. So his pants is split on both sides, both legs. They split all the way down the side. And he was able to get up through there with that kind of uniform on. So when he broke out the door, initially, the bailiff or whoever was there, one of the guards tried to grab him, and they grabbed his pants. And he ran up out of them guys. You know what I'm saying? He ran up out of them guys. Yeah, Jay Doodle, that was a little mixtape, man. Yeah, man, I definitely put that belt on them boys last night, man. I do this for real, huh? I do this for real, man. I went back and listened to it a couple times today, man. I was going to end the show with a little bit just for anybody who missed the show last night. Yeah, I really did put that belt across his bottom side yesterday for real, huh? Because you know what I'm saying? It's like it done got to the point of where it's like, you still got my name in your mouth? Like, why did you still got my name in your mouth? You said you don't want to fuck with me. What you still running around the internet with my name in your mouth for? You know what I'm saying? That's female behavior if I ever seen it. Shit, I thought we were, you know what I'm saying, grown men. You said you didn't want to rock. Shit, I'm out. And here it is. You still running around the internet trying to talk about me. Yeah, so I went on and put that belt across his behind yesterday. Yeah, I went on and put that belt across his behind yesterday. Him and old drunk ass Jay in the bar over there. You know what I'm saying? Definitely. You know what I'm saying? Definitely. So yeah, we're gonna play a little bit of that tonight, man. So yeah, I'm gonna do some more research on this story, man, and see what happened to Deontay, man. I'm gonna see what else happened to Deontay. He ended up one of the people, because his family was out there keeping his name out there and trying to bring awareness to the case, and his girl, you know what I'm saying? So one of the people had been, from the hood or whatever. This lady who knew him, she was telling her daughter about him. She was like, yeah, I know, bro, he be woo-de-woo. And you know what I'm saying? So her daughter went out there to one of the one of the vigils and stuff, to help, bring awareness to his name, let the news know that this man being railroaded and stuff. And she ended up talking to, his family members and stuff, and they end up deciding to, let her, parlay with them a little bit. So she started parlaying with them and coming to all the little things and events they had going on. And one thing led to another. She went in and visited him one day, and end up, taking a liking to him. They end up starting to date and everything, and yeah, they end up together. Fast forward the story a little bit, she ended up getting herself caught up in a situation, and with this case and everything. So yeah, she got herself in some trouble fooling around with this case. They had bought a billboard and everything. Like these folks were really, pushing this man with innocent. And these are people from the hood too, man. These people stayed in, I think they stayed in Little Haiti, if I ain't mistaken, in that little community where they was at, you know what I mean? So the lawyer had brought that story to the board, and yeah, that was interesting. So I'm gonna do some more research on that and figure out what's going on, see where we at all the way with it. But yeah, I just wanted to bring that part to the story because I don't even remember us talking about him escaping from the courthouse. And if we did talk about him escaping from the courthouse, I don't remember being in depth with it because when I'm watching the documentary today, I didn't know none of that. I knew about the other stuff about what happened at the, supposedly happened with the little burglary type thing. And I remember all that, but I don't remember none of this other stuff. So either we didn't have the information or, I just didn't hear it or whatever. But yeah, so that's what we got going on with that situation. Yeah, this boy playing a perfect escape from the courthouse. Got away on these folks. You know what I'm saying? So, that brings us to the Seditious Six, man. These people from government went out here and put together a PSA telling law enforcement and military that they do not have to obey illegal orders. But that's, that's understood. They don't need to be said. You know what I'm saying? That's understood. They don't need to be said. So they went on TV and tried to put this little PSA together where they was telling the military and, service members don't obey illegal orders. And, need people from the left. So the right, they push back on it like, what orders have been illegal? And when nobody come on with nobody with no name wouldn't come on no camera and say that he gave out some illegal orders. And the people that actually did the PSA, not only did they not say he gave illegal orders, they even went so far to say, well, we're not saying that he gave any illegal order. We just saying that should nobody be listening to no illegal orders. And the argument will hold a little weight if it wasn't them doing it. So when I brought this story to the board originally, I was telling everybody, because this tomorrow's news today. You know what I'm saying? I was telling everybody to be paying attention for what's going to go on. They're trying to set up the play to cause confusion in the military, in the ranks of the military. You know what I'm saying? For when the president do call a play, now you got, some people who done wink told you that, they'll stand with you if you don't follow these orders. You know what I'm saying? So you can perpetrate like, oh, these are legal orders, even though you know better. You know what I'm saying? You can perpetrate like that. You can try to because you can make a case out of a ham sandwich. You know what I'm saying? So, you can try to say this and try to say that when the military don't go like that. You know what I'm saying? It's a chain of command. You got to get up through there. You know what I mean? And especially if you at a high level of command and, you know what I'm saying, the orders start coming down, you got to get on up through there. Now, if you ain't trying to get up through there, what you need to do is put your resignation on his desk. See what I'm saying? But you cannot be in there fumbling around trying to tell people You know what I'm saying? Which orders they can obey and which orders they can't obey. You know, that's just not how the military works. You know what I'm saying? That's a recipe for disaster. So, you know what I'm saying? The Seditious Six is what they've been, that's the label they done got now. They done got the label of the Seditious Six. Running around here with a PSA out talking about don't obey illegal orders. And that conversation hadn't even come up. But see, like I tell y'all, this high level conversation. So we're going to get into what it really means, what the play really is. So the play is really for them to be out here trying to get people to go against what Donald Trump is doing, whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to make sure that we, don't let nobody get away with that move. So we watching it closely. So what Trump has decided to do is he just went on to decide, look, I ain't about to play with y'all. So what Trump went on decided to do is he went on and got people investigating. Now, let's go and get some investigation going. Let's find out what's really going on with this. Because if you ain't did nothing, if ain't nothing going on, then ain't nothing to worry about. But your behavior is awfully suspicious. You know what I'm saying? So we did a little preliminary looking into it and digging around. And what we coming up with is that these folks been given a script. So this wasn't even their own words or nothing. And see, but you know that because they were reading some. But just because you're reading something don't mean it ain't your right. Don't mean it ain't coming from you. But you know what I'm saying? These folks were reading some. But how we know it was something fishy in the water was when we start asking them questions about what was going on. Man, get your ass off my page, goofball. Get your ass out of here, man. It's a high-level conversation. You don't know nothing about what we talking about. So, yeah, like I was saying, just because you reading some words don't necessarily mean they ain't yours. But when we start asking questions about what they had been talking about, then nobody had no good answers. So that's how we knew it was somebody else behind the scenes pulling the trigger. Who play it actually was. So what we found out was that it was John Brennan name that came up and said, and I told y'all about him. I told y'all about John Brennan. And see, that was so funny about all this stuff. So James Comey and Letitia James got indicted. They went to court and they got I can't say nothing bad about the judge right now. But anyway, this old judge done throw the case out. Found something that she could latch on to and throw the case out. Now, the fact that she throw the case out, I ain't mad about that. You know what I'm saying? I ain't mad about she throwing the case out. What I'm mad with is that the Attorney General had the case in a situation where it could be thrown out. You see what I'm saying? She had the case in a situation where it could be thrown out. So apparently what happened was is we don't have no U.S. Attorney General in Washington, you know what I'm saying, for that district. So at the time, it was a guy already in play. So we just stayed with him. Then he resigned or his, because he's the interim man right now, because you got to be confirmed by the Senate. So this guy was the interim man. Then his term was up. So I think you get 120 days. So then we get a chance to, you know what I'm saying, put somebody else in there. After that 120 days, you get to pick another person. But you can't keep on picking people because it's a position that got to be confirmed by the Senate. So, and when them 120 days was up, they went on, put somebody else in there. So that's where the sticky point was at. Because the rule is the president could put the first person in there for 120 days. Then when their time is up, the judges could put somebody in there for 120 days. You know what I'm saying? Then when their time is up, it's kind of murky right there. You know what I'm saying? It would appear that it would go back to the president. You know what I'm saying? Because it's his authority to, you know what I'm saying, announce somebody for the position. You know what I'm saying? It's his authority. So it would appear that it would go back to him, not to the judges. But like I say, it's unclear in the ruling. So she used that to, you know what I'm saying, to get him off the case. So that's how Comey got off the case. And the reason I bring this up is because the fact that Comey is off his case, the statute of limitations is up on his case. So him and Letitia James both got a case going on. Comey's the statute of limitations is up on his case. Letitia James, the statute of limitations is not up on her case, so she's still in jeopardy. More than likely, they about to just refile her case. Ain't even sense of playing with her. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no sense of going to no appeals court or nothing. Just put somebody in position and just refile the case. Both of the cases, good cases. You know what I'm saying? Neither one of the cases was thrown out on the merits of the case. They took both of the cases to the grand jury. They got indictments on both of the cases. They got thrown out on the technicality, you know what I'm saying? Which is, I ain't arguing that. I ain't fighting that. I ain't crying about that. My issue is that the U.S. Attorney General put us in this situation where we bring a case, the people bring a case forward, but we got some baggage inside the process to where now a judge can throw the case out. And now no justice can be, you know what I'm saying, given. The statute of limitations is up on that. And the reason I keep going back to that is because now you're talking about the Seditious 6. We about to tie that case into the Russia hoax. With them coming on TV saying that you don't have to obey illegal orders. We about to find out who told them to say this. Because this was not their own words. You know what I'm saying? They was reading something. Obviously, what's up, Blaze? What's up, Blaze? Shouts out to you. Obviously, they was reading some, and like I said, now just because you reading don't mean it ain't your words, though. But when asked direct questions about what they was reading, they couldn't tell us nothing good. They couldn't really give us what we was looking for. So that's how we know somebody done put them up to this. So now we about to try to tie all this into the fake Russia hoax that they ran from the very beginning. And see, remember what I told y'all about the statute of limitations on these conspiracy cases? The statute do not start until the last act is committed. See, so the statute of limitations, they've been trying to run out the clock on this Russia hoax. You know what I'm saying? They've been trying to run out the clock on it, charging Trump with this and distracting over here with that, to keep all this stuff out the court, to keep the clock going, so that finally they can run out the clock like Comey did. You know what I'm saying? The clock ran out on them little charges. He was just being charged with lying to Congress. The main charge that we was trying to get him with was a perjury charge, but they rejected the perjury charge. So I mean, it's the same wording. It means the same thing, but we tried to charge him with actual perjury for lying under oath, but they rejected that for some reason. But he did get charged with lying to Congress. You know what I'm saying? So that's what he got indicted for, and the judge threw that case out. So the reason that I tell y'all about the statute of limitations is to let you know that the fact that Comey is off of that case, but he's still on the other case, the big conspiracy case. And the conspiracy the statue ain't even started yet because these goofballs still doing stuff in furtherance of the crime. Remember months ago when I told y'all that the FBI found some boxes in the room at the FBI headquarters. They just so happened to be walking the floor one day and was wondering what was in this locked room. They opened the room. There go all these boxes. So somebody hid these boxes in this locked room, which was illegal. And when we got the information out these boxes, we seen that all these boxes, all the information tie back to this conspiracy. So that was another act of, you know what I'm saying, furtherance in the conspiracy. So the statue's still running. You know what I'm saying? The clock ain't even started yet. So now we're trying to tie they bottom end to this PSA they just did. You know what I'm saying? The Seditious 6. John Brennan name all over this. His name all over this. This is handiwork right here. You know what I'm saying? What the CIA be doing. This is what they into. So, you know what I'm saying? They do this to play that they run all over the world to bring down other governments. You know what I'm saying? This the kind of stuff that they be doing all around the world, bringing down other governments. So the fact that, you know what I'm saying, they tried it with over here, you know, it's a lot of people name about to come out, man. So you got a big case coming out of Florida. It been the Trump administration been keeping it under wraps. But you know what I'm saying, it's on the board now, so we can talk about it now. But yeah, over the next couple months, man, you're about to see a big indictment coming down. They ain't getting out of this one. They is not getting out of this one because the statute of limitation. That's how they've been getting out a lot of stuff with them statutes of limitation. But we got them tied in on this one. They ain't getting out on that, on this one. And yeah, if the people can get this thing to the grand jury and getting the indictment back, yeah, them rumps gonna have to show up in a courthouse. You know what I'm saying? Because y'all just don't remember the play, but they was telling everybody that Trump was a Russian agent. They was trying to get him out of office. He had won the election against Hillary Clinton. And then they ran around telling a lie, talking about he was a Russian agent trying to time him to Putin, and almost got the president, the elected president, out of office on the lie. You know what I'm saying? Trump stayed down and, you know what I'm saying, kept digging in, kept doing this thing, and basically forced their hand. You know what I'm saying? Because it was just a smear campaign. But, you know what I'm saying, as you know, Trump started digging in like, hold on, man, where did this lie come from? Why they lying on me? You know what I'm saying? It was kind of like, man, just the internet. And Trump was like, nah, this ain't just no internet. This is a big play they running. You know, so Trump stayed at it. Kind of find out these folks done committed all kind of crimes, man. But again, the statute of limitation ran out on a lot of stuff. But the one thing that it didn't run out on is the total conspiracy. See, it was kind of hard to charge them with conspiracy because you had like-minded people doing stuff. So you got 4 people over here. None of them don't like Trump. You got a prosecutor, a judge, you know what I'm saying? You got an FBI agent. And then you got a politician. No, none of them like Trump. So they don't necessarily have to talk to do what they doing. Just, you know what I'm saying? So the politician, he hide the information. And then he go on TV and tell a lie about, yeah, Trump worked with Russia. The FBI agent, he falsified some emails and shit and give them to the judge. And when the judge see the shit, he don't really ask no real questions. He just sign in, getting the warrant. You know what I mean? So that's what they had going on, man. They weren't necessarily communicating on the conspiracy. Just when it was your turn to make a move, people was doing the most. And you know what I'm saying? So, but at a certain level, there is communication about what's going on. You see what I'm saying? Man, when they was investigating Trump, trying to say that he worked with Putin to steal the election. So say this was the 19th. On the 20th, they done closed the investigation. So today the 19th. Tomorrow is the 20th. They're gonna release all the information to the public. They findings and everything. They got their report set up. Boom. They about to release the information to the public. It was called the Mueller report. So the people that had been working on the Mueller report for a year and a half, almost 2 years, when it was time to release their information, one of the rules is that when you finish doing all your whatever you got going on, that you hold on to everything, all your emails, all your text messages, all your documents, everything. These goofballs, each one of them put their password in their phone incorrectly on the 19th and locked all their devices. They locked all their devices up and then turned their phones back in. Man, these folks were doing the most, man. These folks were doing the most, man. You can't make this stuff up, man. Everybody on the Mueller report, you know what I mean? Everybody that worked on that Mueller report, the day before they released it, all of them put their password in incorrectly too many times and locked their phones up. They're real, man. We was able to get some of them phones opened up before that, though, because some of the FBI agents had gotten in trouble, and you know what I'm saying, they was texting back and forth. Trump called them the lovebirds. It was one FBI agent and the FBI lawyer. So his name was Peter Strzok, and her name was Lisa Page, and Trump called them the lovebirds. He was married, and him and her was having a little affair, and they was texting back and forth about the election and stuff leading up to the election. And they was on the case trying to figure out was Trump working with Russia. But them emails had came out before, so they both got kicked off the case. And it was just a whole bunch of stuff like that going on, man. A whole bunch of stuff like that going on. So somebody, the guy he worked in the House at first. He was a representative in the House for California. His name Adam Schiff. Trump called him Pencil Neck. So Pencil Neck ended up leaving the House and running for the Senate because Kamala Harris had gave up her seat and, you know what I'm saying, ran for president. But she was the vice president. She gave up her seat to be the vice president with Joe Biden. And then instead of going back to the Senate, she decided to run for president. And so when her seat came back up, she wasn't available to run again. So he ran, and Adam Schiff got her seat now. He in the Senate now, but he was in the House at first. And he was one of the last of the Mohicans for the Democrats. He is the last of the Mohicans. Like, he can do what he do. He know how to play the game. I ain't gonna front on, bro. He a sleazy individual. He a slime ball. But he know how to do what we doing. He know how to have these high-level conversations. He know how to talk this shit. So, you know what I'm saying? He was up in there, you know, telling all kind of lies on Trump the whole time he was in office. And one day, some of the Republicans, you know, some of the good old boys from the public got the trolling them. They got the trolling him one day, and they called his phone and acted like they were some Russians, and they told him they had some naked pictures of Trump. They was trolling him, talking about they had some naked pictures of Trump, and he was talking about, yeah, get that to me. And they had recorded it and everything. So, you know what I'm saying? He was the only one trying to get naked pictures. Because that was in the little report they had that Trump, that, you know, people had pictures of Trump and stuff, and Trump was doing this and Trump was doing that, but ain't nobody never producing no pictures. So somebody called his office and told him that they had naked pictures of Trump. I think it was in a documentary the people had made a documentary about how they was trolling it. So yeah, Adam Silver, he in the Senate now, but yeah, he in jeopardy because he was running around telling lies. But he know how to talk though, because he a lawyer. So he didn't necessarily say that Trump worked with Russia or anything like that. He implied the shit out of it though. And, he thought he was big, bad, and, whatever. So he ended up going on Fox News one day and going on Tucker Carlson's show before Tucker left Fox News. And, Tucker one of them guys. He one of them ones. So Tucker know how to play this game too. So while they be doing all that nonsense, one of our main tactics on the right is to ask direct questions. Yeah, we let them talk about whatever they want to say. We let them get it all out. But then we go back and answer direct questions. You know what I'm saying? And every time we get to them direct questions, that's when people on the left, that's when they have their problems. So if you watch how this stuff goes, you'll start to see that play itself out in real time. You know what I'm saying? The Democrats, they do not answer direct questions at all. They do not answer direct questions. You know what I mean? That's how what we got on the board came out, the Seditious Six. Because they went out there implying a lot, and then we asked them a direct question. What illegal order did Trump give? And when one of them get on record and say, well, this, and that, you know what I'm saying? But they implied it. So you'll have people running around saying it, but nobody with no good sense is about to get on record and say that because they know they could be sued. You know what I'm saying? And they know they telling lies. You know what I'm saying? It's one thing to have an opinion about something, but when you start talking too direct, you're going to have to bring out some proof of what you're saying. You know what I mean? And that's what I'm trying to tell y'all about what I do on this show and what I do on this app, what I do on this live feed. I know how to talk. I know how to talk. So while these goofballs running around with their house smelling like boo-boo, you know what I'm saying? All they doing telling lies on me. I ain't telling no lies on them, though. And I talked a whole bunch of shit. But I ain't never told no lie on them. You know what I'm saying? I ain't never told no lie on when I call them weird and all the shit I be talking about they have. Yeah, it's sticking. They done made up a whole bunch of shit. I don't know who they talking about because they couldn't be talking about me. Don't none of that shit fit me. Don't none of that shit apply to me. You know what I'm saying? If they had some money, I had theirs in a courthouse. For real. I'm going to do it anyway. Them little checks that they get, I take that little $80 a week. Yeah, because it just start garnishing their wages. Yeah, they going to owe millions of dollars. And I take $30, $40 a week out their little checks. Yeah, while they out here playing. Yeah, put them in a situation. Put them right in a situation. How they at, right into a courtroom. These folks done got on this app and told lies. Absolute lies. They can't even defend some of the shit they done said. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no way to, well, I thought this and man, you just done made up some shit. That's slander. That's defamation. I am a public figure. I'm running a business over here. And it's the Late Show. It's Ellenwood Studios TV. You have just been listening to the face of the Austin sector. We're talking about the Seditious Six and a whole lot more. The belts are out. And I done put it across some rumps again. Man, I appreciate y'all tuning in, man. For real. This is what I do, man. This is high-level conversation. And you either in it or you ain't. You know what I'm saying? You either in it or you ain't. And 9 times out of 10, these people is not in this conversation, man. These people can't talk with me. These people can't do what I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? These people run around the internet telling out a whole bunch of lies and shit. When it's time to slow down, hold on, let me ask you a question. And that's a direct question. They don't got answer the first. But I appreciate y'all tuning in, man. For Splash in Traffic, I'm Ted Turner. This is Ellenwood Studios TV. We report the news. Take out, twin.
spar. I told God I have a hard time with patience, my board is full. It's a lot of moves that I done postponed cause of your book. They forgot about the queen, she has skills to capture rooks. So any peace protecting castles, a straight move they getting took. It ain't no allies. You can get your bishop, pope, pastor, or a rabbi, but none of those prayers protect your flesh from your past life. Cause a knight gets it jumping, they'll shape plans, create they flat minds. Same meals they gotta take if I choose to go and get mine. I start the clock a piece with 7, got 2 more shots. A pawn up in this game is just a pawn for the plot. Some kings they gotta go, so think about your spot. Be cautious how you play cause the queen is watching your thoughts. Sadly we're here today cause these things they escalate. A woman scorn is something that they underestimate. Don't involve your ego, we target to check they mates. That means I'll sacrifice all they pieces to make it safe. I need a new team, mine is playing both sides. Bad diagonal moves, why do demons wanna hide? And bishop type movements, we cut they corners, let them die. It's 64 squares and you can't check her up, no lies. Now start the clock a piece with 7, got 2 more shots. A pawn up in this game is just a pawn for the plot. Some kings they gotta go, so think about your spot. Be cautious how you play cause the queen is watching your thoughts.